Кстати, я название ни разу не показывала. Эксклюзив.
Welcome to the Freddy Fazbear Virtual Experience. Fazbear Entertainment is excited to join the digital age, and what better way to do that than with an edge-of-your-seat virtual reality experience. We know that Fazbear Entertainment has developed something of a bad reputation over the last few decades, and while it's true that some stories associated with our name were loosely based on actual events, the majority of them were total fabrications from the mind of a complete lunatic, lawsuits pending. But we aren't above laughing at ourselves. Ha ha ha. That's why we have recreated many of these completely fictitious scenarios, lies that you've been fed over the last several years, into a hilarious VR game, in the hopes that we can finally move past these childish ghost stories and develop a new relationship with you, as well as your kids. Don't forget the merch, perfect for birthdays. So sit back and enjoy a few scares. We do, however, ask that you agree to a simple waiver before you play. It's mostly just legal mumbo-jumbo. Injuries associated with testing. Just touch the button to agree, and then we can jump right into some harmless fun that can't harm you at all in any harmful way. Thank you for playing the Freddy Fazbear Virtual Experience. Consciousness transference, real-world manifestations of digital characters, nightmares, night terrors, night sweats.
Вы видите? 52 число. Сам себе отправил ХЗ.
Hello? Can you hear me? Don't exit this room, okay? This isn't a mistake. This room isn't a mistake. I had to hide these logs away from the core gameplay. There was something that looked like a Halloween mask laying on the floor. I didn't understand. Ink must have spilled. It was only then that I heard a shuffle from the testing room and realized Jeremy must be there. I went back and peered in the window. I couldn't see his face. He had the visor covering his head. He had ink spilled on himself as well. The front of his shirt looked black in the dark room. He turned his head in my direction, but I don't think he knew I was there.
Очень интересно. Ага, послушал. Окей. О, смотри, Лёша, редкий кадр. Редкий кадр. Ага. Редкий кадр. Лёша, редкий кадр. Корабль появился. Еще давайте второй редкий кадр. Это корабль из одной из игр. Да. То есть мы спасли этот корабль, раз его Кракен не захватывает. Все. Смотри, Лёш. Понял, что это? Лёша, еще один редкий кадр. Небо поменяло цвет. Лёша, да мы с тобой тут вообще редкие кадры сейчас поберем. Помнишь, тут зеленое было, а теперь все красное. Классно. Классно, блин. Так и ты вместе со мной еще будем редкие кадры искать. Все, я понял. Да. Прям раз за разом. Да. Сейчас надо еще один редкий кадр достать. Ладно, Лёша, запоминай этот цвет. Я обратно добавляю. Вот, Лёш, видишь, заново цвет поменялся. Так можно, смотри, небо цветом менять. Ладно, заново сюда переходим. Надо все-таки еще один редкий кадр. Не, это обычно. Это обычно. Сейчас. Надо все-таки призвать. Кстати, да. Надеюсь.
Keep in mind that this DLC pack is nothing more than a festive holiday-themed add-on, which has absolutely no hidden intent or purpose. So, have fun!
Спасибо, веселитесь. Идет? Нет. Боже. О, великий дух, приди сюда. Нужно. Когда вот не нужно, он сразу же приходит. Когда вот нужно, он вообще не приходит. Дебил Тредбер, вернись ко мне. Нуля, понятно. Сейчас немного подождем. Ага. Оно редко меняется. И редко приходит этот засранец. Мелкий. Заново. Не идет. Сейчас посмотрим на небо. Ща. Охотники на Тредбера, блин. Ща надо подождать. Больше не огорчай меня. Эти для видео. Да, вот этого медведя. Его зовут Тредбер. Он может вот тут пойти. Ага, он может вот тут пойти из озера. Может к нам пойти. И вот поэтому я так его ищу. Это тоже редкий кадр. почему-то, когда я не хочу, он всегда приходит, а когда хочу, он не приходит. Вот засранец, да знает то, что я его зову. Нет, он не сожрет. Он просто появится и пройдет мимо. Лёш, ты не видишь? Нет. Ладно, без этого режима сейчас придем к нему. Все. Паше, приди, медведь, приди, Паше. Ага. Да. Нормально так. Где свой медведь? Дебил, иди сюда. Чё это за челик, а? Лёша, не знаешь? Ну блин, где это? Медведь поганый. Лёша, ты точно не знаешь, кто это? А? Паше, медведь, приди, медведь, приди, медведь, приди. Ладно, пока можно пожрать конфетки. Кажется, идет. Или нет? Идет, Лёша, идет. Я вижу шляпу и ухо. Да, точно идет. Видно аж пальцы. Вот, на озеро. Видно, даже глаза сверкают. Все идет. Из озера вылезает, видишь? Классно, наконец-то ты пришел. Наконец-то ты, засранец, пришел. Ага, ура. Жри, говорю. Свой медведь, жри, говорю. На. Да. Он пошел на вечеринку. Ты был, пошел. Кстати, Леша хочет, чтобы я ему мозги пошевелил. Тут если решим вставлять ему мозги. Тут если решим, как сейчас он уйдет на вечеринку. Ля, он в сарай пошел. Смотри, в сарай пошел на вечеринку. Подманята, блин. Я понял, то, что у меня задержка. Я это знаю еще давно. Нормальная задержка. Я это знаю еще очень давно. Ладно, короче. Дредбер. Будем еще его чинить. Это понятно, то, что у меня задержка. Ага. Сначала его чиним. Невозможно.
Welcome back to Research and Development. Today, we are using science to pervert the mysteries of life and reanimate the inanimate. To begin, it is customary for the creator to give a melodramatic speech. Go on, I'll wait. All done? Good job. Now let's wake our little experiment with a controlled shock. Turn the crank to lower the platform, then throw the switch. It's alive, but lacking the necessary control module, namely the brain. So let's calibrate one. Use the laboratory tools to adjust the brain's vital characteristics. Use the blueprints as a guide for matching the correct colors, size, and neurofeedback loop. When you are satisfied, carefully place the brain in the creature's animatronic head cavity.
Я боюсь. У него желтые глаза стали, он стал злиться. Все, скример будет. Лёш. Как я сказала, скример. Вернее, минус я. Ах ты ж ты сыр. Сыр ты наш, блин. На тебе. Убери руку от меня, убери.
Keep in mind that this DLC pack is nothing more than a festive holiday-themed add-on, which has absolutely no hidden intent or purpose. So, have fun.
Лезь, оно тебя сожрет. Да он еще заново идет, смотри. Леша, он заново идет. Видишь, он заново идет. Заново мозги промыли, он пошел заново на вечеринку. Забыл, хотел ли он на нее или нет. Тупой медведь. Ага, тупой медведь, смотри. Промыли ему мозги, он забыл то, что он уже на вечеринку ходил. Ага. Ага. Все, ну я, короче, пошел стрелять. Вот, ну ты поймешь, откуда этот корабль. Лёш, сейчас ты поймешь, откуда этот корабль. Понятно?
Welcome aboard Captain Foxy's pirate adventure! You can help me with this here adventure by shooting the target with that there hand cannon. Do your best, or I'll send you to Davy Jones's locker. For your safety, keep your hands inside the ride at all times, or you'll end up like me. Ahoy! Set sail for treasure! Back down the
Скушать вкусно.
Keep in mind that this DLC pack is nothing more than a festive holiday-themed add-on, which has absolutely no hidden intent or purpose. So, have fun!
Так вкусно же. Чё жрать-то надо? Я исхудал весь. Короче, самый ржачный режим. Как по мне, хоть и страшный, но ржачный. Будем ща чинить мангл. Убираю все принадлежности мои, которые мне могут...
Welcome to the Fazbear Entertainment Fulfillment Center. Today, we are assembling animatronic performers. Each animatronic unit will bring joy to the children at one of our many Freddy Fazbear locations. Just place the necessary components in the assembly chute conveniently located at the front of your workstation.
Кстати, нормально. Я ничего хочет не могу. Ща напугает. Пугает.
Well done. Let's see how you did. Oh no, it looks like there aren't enough components. Perhaps the instructions were not clear.
Короче, ща погиб.
Perhaps you should seek employment elsewhere.
Я говорю, то, что в нем сложно набить. Только стоя может легко. Но я сидя-то все играю. Очень ленюсь. Стоя.
Welcome to the Fazbear Entertainment Fulfillment Center. Today, we...
Сейчас.
Well done. Let's see how you did.
Еще я всрал опять.
Oh no, it looks like there aren't enough components. Perhaps the instructions were not clear. Perhaps you should seek employment elsewhere.
Сейчас скример будет, Леша. Заново. Пока нормально не сделаю, ничего не буду. Дальше. Это не я.
Welcome to the Fazbear... Well done. Let's see how you did.
Ой, мало. Всё скрыто.
Oh no, it looks like there aren't enough components. Perhaps the instructions were not clear. Perhaps you should seek employment elsewhere.
Заново. Мне надо немного вперед сесть.
Welcome to the Fazbear Entertainment Fulfillment Center.
Так понятно. Там Фокси еще. Рука медведя, рука.
Well done. Let's see how you did. Oh no, it looks like there aren't enough components. Perhaps the instructions were not clear. Perhaps you should seek employment elsewhere.
Надо 80-70%. Лёша, ты уже извини. У меня упрямый характер. Я еще буду бегать. В кого нет? Вопрос, где я? Кого не я? Сразу ответ даю.
Welcome to the Fazbear Entertainment Fulfillment.
Теперь уже ужинаю. Просто не могу. Бэйби и Фредди. Сразу комплект. Бэйби, Фредди и Фредди. Спрингтраба. Ага. Ну, конечно. Рука спринтера. Мне не дотянуться просто. Вылез.
Well done. Let's see how you did. Oh no, it looks like there aren't enough components.
Смотри, какая
Perhaps the instructions were not clear. Perhaps you should seek employment elsewhere.
Чё с мордой Фокси?
Good enough. Animatronic engineering is just that simple. See you next time.
Спасибо. Ты видел, у Фокси во рту была рука Фредди? Ля, я мазила. Ляш, ты смотришь стрим? А, нет, смотрит. О, Лёш, корабль, корабль. Кракен, появляйся, боже. Так летите. Блин. Опять без кракена-то. Так, раб, видим. Где кракен? Тащи мне кракен. Они без звука улетели, классно. Сейчас. Ладно, что-то я подустал вот тут вот находиться. Чё? Вика вас любит, себе нервы потребляет. Вика вас любит, себе нервы потрепать, поэтому надо же. Лёша, извини, но я сейчас жрать буду. Лёш, все норм. Стрим не остановился. Просто мне стрим любит сам по себе останавливаться. Все норм. Короче, смотри. Эту бутылку надо под меня поставить. А, я придумал. Лёша, ща. Какого-нибудь дотика возьмем. Куда? Бутылка. Сел на бутылку, блин. Банка совпадает с размером глаз. Что я так рисуюсь? Ля. О, нифига. Бутылка, я за тобой. Бутылка, ты... А, вот она, бутылка. Меня никто не смотрит. Я очень много. Как в Сонике. Соник. Я и есть Соник. А если я Ёж? Ля, меня никто не смотрит. шушу. Нет. 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 Стоп. Кика это. Что за магия, блин? Зритель 2, а сейчас смотрит 1. А я не понял. Чё помучаюсь? От дебила Спрингтраба, который вообще играть не умеет во ФНАФ. Ой, господи, какой я пьяный-то. Ой, ой, какой я. Ща я вас помутусится.
Hey man, okay, I have some awesome news for you. First of all, we found some vintage audio training cassettes. Dude, these are like prehistoric. I think they were like training tapes for like other employees or something like that. So I thought we could like have them playing like over the speakers as people walk through the attraction. Dude, that makes us feel legit, man. But I have an even better surprise for you. You're not gonna believe this. We found one. A real one. Gotta go, man. Well look, it's in there somewhere. I'm sure you'll see it. Okay, I'll leave you with some of this great audio that I found. Talk to you later, man. Hello? Welcome to your new career as a performer slash pizza. With much needed information on how to handle slash climb into slash climb out of mascot costumes. Right now we have two specially designed suits that double as both animatronic and system.
То как это, блин, произошло? Меня напугал фантом голубой. И Спрингтрап такой, ой. Кстати, да, я хочу.
Hey man, okay, I have some awesome news for you. First of all, we found some vintage audio training cassettes. Dude, these are like prehistoric. I think they were like training tapes for like other employees or something like that. So I thought we could like have them playing like over the speakers as people walk through the attraction. Dude, that makes us feel legit, man. But I have an even better surprise for you. You're not gonna believe this. We found one. A real one. Gotta go, man. Well look, it's in there somewhere. I'm sure you'll see it. Okay, I'll leave you with some of this great audio that I found. Talk to you later, man. Hello? Welcome to your new career as a performer slash entertainer for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. These tapes will provide you with much needed information on how to handle slash climb into slash climb out of mascot costumes. Right now we have two specially designed suits that double as both animatronic and suits. So please pay close attention while learning how to operate these suits, as accidents slash injuries slash death slash irreparable and grotesque maimings can occur. First we will discuss how to operate the mascots when they are in animatronic form. For ease of operation, the animatronics are set to turn and walk towards sound cues.
Смотри, какой пацан.
Suit mode, insert and turn firmly the hand crank provided by the manufacturer. Turning the crank will recoil and compress the animatronic parts around the side of the suit, providing room to climb inside. Please make sure the spring locks are fastened tight to ensure the animatronic devices remain fixed. We will cover this in more detail in tomorrow's session. Remember to smile. You are the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
А Алло. Алло, это полиция. Со мной какой-то дотик бегает. Еще один дотик стоит у меня в комнате. Ага, сейчас пропишу вам таблетки. Спасибо. Тык. Какие таблетки надо, да? Возьмите таблетку экзотическое масло. Лёша, смотри, крюк. Тотик понял, да, что ему там нечего делать. Лёша, нет, ну ты видел крюк. Тут была вентиляция вот отсюда. Только без прикрабов. Что так все темно стало? Тачка. Не исключаю этот вариант. Иди обратно. Ну, короче, крюк был ржавчина. Кстати, с этой камеры видно то, что он вот там вот. Лёш, видишь? Зачем тогда вообще камеры делать? Вот он, спрингтон. Вот он. Возвращайся. Почему мне свет? Еле лампочки горят, блин. Он телепортнулся. Бедно стало Егорке.
Welcome back to Parts and Service. It looks like one of our guests left a personal item on our star attraction. Let's return it to the Lost and Found. Carefully, Freddy's got good job. Now place the hat in the while we're at it. Well done. Freddy's chest cavity is now open. Remove the child's watch and place it in the Lost and Found bin. Be careful not to touch any of Freddy's sensitive wiring. Good job. It appears there is a child's shoe wedged behind Freddy's music box. The music box must be removed before you can access the child's shoe. Gently grasp the music box and extract it from Freddy's chest cavity. Carefully place the music box. Great job. To reset the safety latch, press the... Now, remove the child's shoe and place it in the lost and found bin. Well done. Return the music box to Freddy's chest cavity, and we'll call it a day.
Понятно, блин. Секретный скример. Нормальная фраза. Тогда есть кошмарный скример Гекса. Ля-я.
Hello? Can you hear me? Don't exit this room, okay? This isn't a mistake. This room isn't a mistake. I had to hide these logs away from the core gameplay files, in a place that only a beta tester would look, and in a place where the files could be protected. I just really, really hope that the next development team finds this before the game is released to the public. This game has some kind of malicious code in it that we haven't been able to fully contain or even understand, for that matter. We're over budget and out of time. But that's not the reason that we're shutting down. Listen, I have to keep this short so the file size will be small enough to fly under the radar. There are more. They may not be in order. I saw it for the first time today. There was a character I couldn't make out who it was, standing at the end of the hall. I thought it was just bugged out, so I made a note of it and kept playing. But then it was looking in the window, and not like Chica or Bonnie would. It was like it was actually looking in the window, seeing what I was doing. I heard a pretty heated conversation this morning between Dale, our manager, and someone else on the line. It really feels like this project is in trouble, in no small part because of the lawsuit, I'm sure. There has to be a lawsuit. There's no way there isn't. It happened in this building just a few doors down from me. I think it's made worse by the fact that Jeremy tried to tell us something was wrong. But as a dev team, we all just saw it as a challenge to find what the problem was and fix it. Who could have known that? I have to go. Have you ever heard of a guillotine paper slicer? It sounds made up, but it's an actual piece of office equipment. I didn't even know we had one in the supply room. I guess they're more common at businesses that do a lot of graphic design work. I remember seeing one when I was still in school, and even then, I knew how dangerous it looked. I was always afraid of losing a finger. That seems so silly now. Jeremy used to do design work. I guess that's how he knew it was there. The drawers have been emptied out. Someone was here. I don't think it was spring cleaning either. No, there was plastic on the floor. Someone was definitely here during the night. It had to have been the client. I mean, they sent us that stuff in the first place with no explanation, told us to scan it, said it would expedite the process so we wouldn't need to program any pathfinding ourselves. It was a budget thing, I guess. It was just junk. Circuit boards and things like that. Looked pretty old. Somehow, though, there was usable code on some of it. It seemed to take hold by itself. Things started changing. But then, he started appearing. At least that's what Jeremy said. I came in early that morning. No one else was there. At least that's what I thought. The supply room was lit. I didn't even notice Jeremy standing in the testing room as I walked past. The supply room was so bright, glowing from all the way down the hall. Jeremy complained of nightmares when he came in this morning. He wasn't talking about it like someone telling a friend about his dreams, though. He was pale, looked like he hadn't eaten in days. He spent an hour talking in Dale's office, but it didn't look like he was given much sympathy. When he came out, he went directly back to the testing room. He doesn't even jump anymore. Nothing scares him. He just stands there like he's talking to someone. Sometimes he rocks from side to side. We were told to leave him alone. I knew I was in line to do the testing next. They'd been prepping me for it. I guess they knew that Jeremy would need to be replaced soon. You can always tell when a company is getting ready to fire someone. They start giving out written warnings for silly things, making sure to build a paper trail and make a case for a firing. Things that normally no one would care about suddenly become grave offenses, all worthy of being written and documented. I guess it works two ways, because it also encourages a person to quit rather than be scrutinized so heavily. I think Jeremy was too far gone to consider that option, though. The thing about it is that I don't think they were going to fire him because of anything he was doing wrong. They just knew he'd seen something. They needed to discredit him. There was something that looked like a Halloween mask laying on the floor. I didn't understand. Ink must have spilled. It was only then that I heard a shuffle from the testing room and realized Jeremy must be there. I went back and peered in the window. I couldn't see his face. He had the visor covering his head. He had ink spilled on himself as well. The front of his shirt looked black in the dark room. He turned his head in my direction, but I don't think he knew I was there.
Ну и на этом все.